Streaming. Yeah, so with so we got 26 awards, but like 8 of them are going to be statistical, which are just cut dry. Right. And then we have 7 or 8 of the ones that are going to be fan vote, but then there's like 8 of them that Brandon, Michael, who wants to do it too, and myself, we're going to be talking about like awards and being like, okay, so we probably have 3 different people, but we have to persuade the room to be like, oh yeah, no, that guy should get it. So that's going to be fun.
It'll be a fun way to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. Like, I cannot wait. Like, I'm super excited. I can't believe it's next week.
Yeah. It's flying by.
Yeah. We're at season 2. Obviously season 2, but episode 24. Feels like yesterday. I was just like, oh, I don't want to, ask people in November right now because it's still March. But craziness. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Racing Podcast. I'm your host, Derek Crane, presented by Kenosha Plumbing. If your plumbing is not working, which, check out Kenosha Plumbing's Facebook page because they have tips and tricks to make sure that your pipes don't freeze this winter. But if they still freeze and they break or whatever, check out Kenosha Plumbing. Tell them Crane Racing sent you. Tonight we have Garrett Eidsor. Eidsor, right?
Yep.
Yes, I got it. Okay, good. I was pronouncing it right. Here with us tonight, Wing 604 driver. So we're going to be talking to him about his year, 604 wing predictions, Bandit, Street Stock predictions, and some other stuff. Real quickly, before I forget, vote for the Benchies. It's pinned on the our Facebook page. Go in there. Please put your email address. We were just talking about that. When I set the thing up, it said that require email address, and I thought I hit it, but apparently I didn't. So just put your email address in there. You're not going to be spammed, but it's just easy to make sure that everyone's on the up and up. But yeah, vote for your favorite drivers and female driver of the year, best looking car, people's champ, crash of the year, crew chief of the year, bright future. Because we only have a few more days of voting, because next Monday here live will be the Benchies. It's going to probably be a little bit longer though, instead of an episode, so that's going to be fun. All right, but let's get into it. What's up, Sean? How you doing? Are you going to be at the banquets?
That should be a fun time.
Yeah. I'm considering for sure the Wilmot one. I'm like,
the Wilmot one's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Got a DJ.
DJ?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like that's where, like, right now we're in, like, the limbo part where it's like, it's not race season, so it's like, what do we have to look forward to? Because we know, like, a lot of schedules won't be made until January or February anyway, so, but yeah, nice. DJ. Oh, do you know where we're at?
Broadstop.
Yeah. Nice.
And we were talking about that yesterday. We were taking the motors out of the cars, and everyone's like month off we had was nice, but everyone's like, now what do we do? We're all bored, trying to find stuff to do.
Yeah, seriously. All right, so let's get into a little bit about our guest, Garrett here. So, Garrett, you drive a winged 604 car?
Yes, I do.
Nice. Number 28.
Yeah.
Why 28?
So I grew up on dirt bikes, and my number was 728 because I was born on July 28th. So.
Okay.
Not a big fan of 3-digit race car numbers, especially on sprint cars.
Yeah.
So just dropped the 7 and 28 it was.
Nice. Cox House is the only one that can run a triple digit. No one else try it. I won't like it.
Well, I like how he runs it because he's got the small 7. So.
Yeah, small 11.
Yeah. Small 11.
Yeah. So that's always confusing because on the car it looks like 7. They're saying 7-11, but on the scoreboard it's 71.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good branding. Great branding. No.
Yeah.
No, he was a great sport last episode too. So, which he's got a merch website and all that stuff. It's really cool. A really good way to spend money. But anyways, to Garrett here. So how did the whole 604 wing thing come to you?
Actually, it'd be a shout out to Ralph Johnson because last year, Chris asked Tommy if he wanted to run the 604 wing first event at the fair, and Tommy said yeah. And Ralph came over one night after the races when we were all standing in a circle, and he asked Jen, which is Tommy's daughter, if she wanted to run his backup car to run with her dad. and she told him no, but Dan was in the circle, and Ralph basically said, Dan, why don't you let him run your backup car? And then Dan agreed to it, and we threw a car together in a week and went out there and did it.
Yeah, so that was the fair of last year.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Nice. Yeah, so you've ran, 2 or 3 races in last year, right?
Two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I got here, qualified 15th, 8th in the heat, 19th in the main, but you've had some issues with some of the cars. And then the last one last year, which I think it's wrong because I swear you beat me.
Last year?
Last year when I was in Dodd's car.
No, I beat Mark Paulson. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who did I think beat me? What's up, Jason? Hey yo, what up, champ? The guy that everybody loves at Nathan's Racing event, but he finally got the main event win, so that's good.
Jason,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he got the room to turn on him. It was beautiful as a driver. That's not me. Like, I was just like, Then he's been on the podcast, and it's just like, he bleeds just like us. Like,
yeah.
He's a guy that you love to not like racing, but off the track, you're like, yeah, you're a cool dude. You're a cool dude. So yeah. All right, yeah. So then that's how last year kind of happened with your Wing 604 with Wade.
Yeah.
And then kind of how did you get into it with CJ Malik?
So with CJ, I actually met him last year this time. I haven't known him a long time.
Okay.
He actually came up to me the last race of last year, and he's like, is it seriously your second time ever in any type of race car? And I said, yeah. And we started talking, and we got really close friends after that. And over the winter time, they built their 410 car, and he asked me, since I had driving experience a little bit, he asked me if I could shake down his 604 car because he wanted as many laps as he could in his 410 car.
At the beginning of this year, right?
Yeah, at the beginning of this year, the first practice session or whatever.
Yeah.
And I went out there and I shook down his 604 car for him, and we always bust his balls a little bit because I ran a faster lap time in his 604 than he did in his 410.
No, that's law, man. That's law. Nope.
So then after that, he just asked if I wanted to shake down his backup car when the motor came back, and we ran out of practice weekends, so it ended up being fair that day that I raced it. Yeah. That was the first time that car started.
Wow.
So that's kind of how that came in. We put that car together Monday night, and we raced Wednesday. It was, 2-3 days we got?
Yeah. That's the nice thing about the sprint cars is that they're that easy to put together. Yeah. Like, in a pinch, you can get them in 24, 48 hours. Yeah. But yeah, I was there at the fair because, of course, not racing, but I'm going to go and support Wilmot Raceway. And I remember the car rolling out. I'm like, who is that? And I saw Don's on the wing, and I'm like, okay.
Well, the wrap was a complete surprise to me.
It looks identical, just different colors.
Because we went down to, we're heading to Knoxville Nationals, and he got the call on the Thursday on the way down there that the motor was going to be done.
Okay. But
the car was just sitting in the garage, nothing done to it. And I don't know how long he had this planned or whatnot, but he got in touch with my mom and my family, and they ended up buying the wrap for me, and nobody said anything. I was expecting, just throw some duct tape numbers on this thing, and we're just going to go out there and have some fun with it. Mm-hmm. So Sunday we came back from the Knoxville Nationals, and we started putting my seat in the car, and he walks up with a bag, and I'm like, what is this? He's like, just look inside of it. I opened it up, and it was the full wrap. Oh. So not only do we have a race car to put together,
now you got to
wrap it. But Michael Olson, he was like, oh, I'll do that. So Michael started wrapping the car when me and Tyler and CJ's dad started putting the thing together, and we were still wrapping that thing. It was going to push on the trailer for the race.
Wow. Well, so Michael did it. So I was going to ask you, what's worse, thrashing a sprint car together or putting a full wrap on a sprint car?
Michael is very tedious about it. It looks really good, but I think the wrapping was probably worse than putting the car together.
Yeah.
But the car goes together kind of easy when there's 3 guys. Yeah. You have to be very patient with the wrap. Yeah. But it looks good.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a really strong looking car. Can't remember if it was. I think one of CJ's cars is for best looking car.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I forgot which one it is.
Yeah, it's his 604 car.
The 604 car. Okay. Yeah, because some of the stuff was like so vague. It's just like CJ Malik, and it's like, but which one? I mean, Eidzor's cars, CJ's too. So like that one looks pretty sharp. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep it like super basic.
Yeah.
And to me that one looks better than the 410. Maybe it's just because it's a darker.
I like the black car better too.
Yeah, it's just darker, more intimidating. Yeah. So Garrett, what do you do for work?
I full time I build food packaging machines. So machines that have like the safety seals on them.
Okay.
Like cottage cheese, yogurt. I make those machines. Drop the cup, fill the cup, put the seal on it, put the lid on, and out the other end it goes, ready to get packaged.
So you build the machines for that?
Yeah.
You don't work at a food plant?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Where's that around here?
Bristol.
Bristol?
Back behind the 45 Diner. And then.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I farm part time too for.
Farm?
Yeah.
What do you farm?
Soybeans, corn, wheat. 2,600 acres down here, so it's a decent sized farm.
Okay.
It's just fun. Anything with a wheel and motor in it, I'm have fun with.
Yeah, seriously, building and running stuff. Sorry, I chuckled when you said soybean because there's this game that we like to. It's one of my favorite games. It's called Bonanza. Basically, you're a bean farmer, and one of the things is a soybean. And every time someone brings up soybean or any kind of bean, I think of my team, and they get their names mixed up sometimes, and they call it Red Eye Bean. And so that chuckle. What's up, Beth? And then Ashley here. That's so random. I love hearing people's jobs.
Yeah.
We're not all wearing capes all the time. Nice. So how long have you been there at the plant?
Yeah, 7, 8 years. Right out of high school.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So I thought Dale Eidsor,
yeah,
and you were the same person. So
Dale's the dad.
I banded I just know the kid, right?
Yeah.
So the kid Eidsor is Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same name.
Okay.
Same spelling and everything.
All right. There we go. Okay, because I thought I was tweaking there because I was just like, I thought he ran bandits before, and then I go to your Facebook page and I'm like, you don't have any. Okay.
No, that my first steering wheel racing was in the 604 wing car.
That's nice.
I mean, I practiced in the Wingless car, but never an actual race in it.
Okay.
Just practice at the practice times, stuff like that.
So question, practice 604 winged to the practice wingless. Which one did you like better?
I like driving the wingless car, I think was a little bit more fun because it was on the edge, sideways.
Okay.
But I don't know if I like racing it. I like the stick and kind of know where it's going to go, not the slide and hope it catches kind of racing.
Yeah.
But that's also a couple times in it.
Okay.
I bet you the experience would take that little edge off. But
Yeah. I think that the wingless cars are more fun to drive, as in you could be running towards the back, but you're still driving the way it needs to be driven, and you could still be like, oh, this isn't much
right.
With the 604 wing is fast, going down the chute, and you can start to feel the wing start to pull you into the corner, and you gotta turn it right down the straight, and then right when you get to the corner, you just release your grip, and it just goes in, and you're just wide open, and you're just sucked it. You're sliding this way, but you're getting pulled this way, sucked down. It's kind of cool too.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Because I did the wingless before I did the wing car. Mm-hmm. So the first time I hopped in the wing car, did kind of how you would in a wingless car, and it's right to the bottom of the track, and it's
infield tire. No, I just worked on it all week.
Yeah.
I don't even get one lap at speed. All right, and then what do you do outside of racing and work and farming?
So this time of year, I'm a big waterfowl hunting. So I'm ducks and
ducks. Okay.
So I do that, and then once it gets cold out, ice fishing and snowmobiles and stuff like that. And then I also run demo cars.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So a lot of follow-up questions there. So what's the biggest duck?
The biggest duck?
Yeah.
They're all kind of the same size.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How many ducks? There we go. That's a good question.
You could shoot 6 a person.
6 a person.
So yeah, we usually go with 3 guys. So the most you could get is 18.
Okay.
A day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm assuming all males.
No.
You can shoot females.
Oh, you have to. There's rules.
Okay.
You could shoot 2 males, 1 female of a species. It varies. The
Okay.
DNR has their whole list.
Gotcha.
So you got to pay attention before you shoot what you're shooting at.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
okay. What's the biggest ice fish you caught. Or where do you go? And where do you go for that?
I live right by Camp Lake, so
Camp
if
Lake,
I get
okay.
home from work and want to go out, I'll go run over there, or
Nice.
just wherever,
Wherever?
just to be outside,
Yeah.
having fun.
Okay. Do you go camping at all?
Not really.
Not
I
really.
mean, we went camping at Knoxville Nationals.
Well,
but-
I mean, who doesn't at that time?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I'm a camper, but I can only do it for like a certain amount of days, and then I need to be like back home.
Yeah.
But I think I could I think I could camp all Chili Bowl and not even care.
Yeah, we rented a house. We got an Airbnb because we're going
Nice.
down there for the first time this year.
Nice. We'll circle back to that. Where do you go for snowmobiling?
Well, if it gets snow down here, I could leave right from my house, but
Nice. Like drive to work or
Yeah.
ride to work, I should say.
Yeah, I
Ride
could.
To work.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And then up north, is there any spots that you like?
well, yeah, CJ's got a cabin up north, and then up north, it's most of the time it's just chasing the snow. You want to get the nice snow, otherwise it kind of sucks. But
Yeah. So uncultured swine like me, city boy here. So what's bad snow versus good snow?
just you want more snow.
More snow.
Because if it's just not a lot of snow, the trails get kind of beat up, and there's nothing the groomer could do about it. Versus if you go somewhere with 10 more inches, they could groom it down, make it flatter. It's like heat race versus the rough feature track.
Okay,
yeah, it's kind of
gotcha.
like smooth versus
okay.
rough. Matter what you want.
All right, gotcha. Yeah, so you brought a hunting, fishing, snowmobiling there. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say. All right, so you said that you're going to Chili Bowl.
Yeah.
First time this year.
Yeah.
Anyone got a ride? Or
No,
you're just going to be a turn 4 drunk?
Yeah.
Or turn 2 rowdy. There we go.
Yeah, no one's got a ride. We're just going down there to have a good time.
Nice. I was kind of on the fence about it, and then got a baby on the way, due February. So now I'm like, well, only if I would ever get a ride, I'd go. But
Right.
like now I'm like, it might be sitting from my couch.
Well, I did see there's one on Facebook that someone posted. I forget the guy's name, but it rents a ride.
Oh. First, I have to have the money.
Yeah.
Especially right now. There's no, let me just put this on a credit card right now.
Right.
And maybe it'll go away by the end of the season. Cool, nice. And then, girlfriend, married?
Yeah, I got a girlfriend.
Girlfriend,
We've been
nice,
together
nice.
for 3 years now.
Nice. Okay, her name?
Brenna.
Brenna. And
Yeah.
does she go to the track
Yeah.
all the time?
Yeah. Most of the time, yeah.
When you're driving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She comes out even when I'm not. When I'm just cruising, she'll
Okay.
come out, hang out with all of us. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the Malik family and team is pretty cool.
Yeah, they're a really, really nice group of people. I'm glad they're in my corner.
Mhm.
I'm glad I met them.
Yeah, I mean, I know CJ's might be watching. He's probably watching. If not, he's watching live. I know he'll be tuning back in the morning. But I forget what he looks like if he's not wearing a suit.
If he's not wearing
Yeah, so like when I flip the cart and the guy's talking to me and I'm like, yeah, what, yeah, blah, blah. And then he walks away, I'm like, oh, that was CJ. Like, because he was out of his race suit already. And I don't know why, but he's, for me, kind of hard. Maybe it's because of the glasses,
Yeah, the
sunglasses,
non-glasses,
and the hat.
Well, the
and all
first time I didn't know he had a brother. The first time I met him. So the first time I went down to his house over winter, I walked into the garage and his brother was standing there, and it kind of looked similar. And I'm like, you look a little different. And then TJ was on the ground putting in an axle or something, and I'm like, oh, there's two of you.
that. Michael Olsen, he's ugly with and without you. He's ugly with and without you. How can you not recognize him? I know. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I just rung my bell pretty hard too. Like that was,
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame it on the flip going on the back chute where I was just like, whoa, who? I barely remember any of that night.
Yeah, something happened in front of you guys, and you had
Yeah.
everybody locked up, and you had like nowhere to go, and I think you jumped the tire.
Yep, we were talking about that too. Before you got here about that really nice blue car, and I ran it 4 times and then flipped it. Yeah, so that was the night Marshall went flipping, starting at like the end of the back chute, going into 3, and ended up in the center of 3 and 4. And I feel like it was maybe not a late calling red, but everyone just like fanned out and locked it down. So of course, without me seeing, because
What happened?
Yeah, what happened? But also that was still when they were still trying to get the track like to actually be somewhat smooth, but it was still dusty, so you couldn't really see too far ahead. And they just fanned it out 4 wide. So And I tried to square Tater up as hard as I could, but at the last second he kind of like twitched it so he didn't hit Hensley, I think, and I just ate his rigger. So that was fun, spending all that money all winter to build that nice car and then flipping it 4 nights in. But yeah, fun stuff. Let's see, was there anything else? What does next year look like for you?
That is up in the air. I'm not racing full time.
Okay.
But maybe a couple times I'll go out there.
Nice.
If not, I'll be out there crewing the whole time, no matter what. But
okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you've been crewing too. For CJ. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
The car, working on the car.
Yeah. We change a lot, but
yeah.
I mean, we have fun doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's why everyone had such a fun year, is because we take it serious enough to be good, but we also don't to have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
Because if you take it too serious, it's like one bad night could ruin everybody's weekend. Versus now, if we have a bad night, just everybody's kind of mad for a little bit, but then everybody kind of gets over it.
Yeah. Because I should have been professional and had this up here. CJ was not too far off, right, from the points.
He finished third in the Wilmot points, and he won the HRP one.
That's right. Okay, yeah, right here. Boom. I saw that when I was looking up points stuff.
I think he's third. I think Greg took second. Greg Olson took second, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I forget. They're all the way down at the bottom. Yeah, Olson. Okay, 34 points. Okay, yeah, that's not. I forget. And you could argue that CJ and I and Steer were like probably the two most dominant cars all year.
Yeah.
But Tommy Sexton with his, 8 top 5s.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that one.
Yeah, and 9 top 10s out of 9 features. Yeah, you're not going to beat that.
Yeah, we always started pretty far back.
Yeah.
The invert always kind of put us in like the 4th row, 3rd row.
Yeah.
Which
what's your opinion on that? Just kind of put you on the spot.
I think the invert would be fine if it was a 24 car field, but since it was a 12, 14 car field, I think they should have cut it in half.
So 3,
yeah.
1, 2, 3, or 2, 3.
Yeah, the first, yeah.
Okay.
Not if you do good, you start 4th. You're basically starting second to last row almost. Third to last row.
Yeah. You could start pull off at your heat race and only start 1 spot behind the guy that went fast time.
Yeah.
That's true. Michael Olson, the alcohol usually helps the bad nights. Yes, they do. Or season-ending nights, too. That was a blast hanging out with you guys till like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were there till 2:30.
Yeah.
And that was a good night.
Yeah, that was a rough night for our team that night, too. We still had some fun.
Yeah, we got that in my notes. I got to write that down. But we're going to transition here into our first topic here, presented by Next Gen Pumps, veteran-owned, American-made warranty like no other. If you need some pumps, or Hoosier Tires in southeastern Wisconsin, northeastern Illinois, check out Tom Brown and Silver Lakes. Talking Garrett Eidzor's year with CJ Malik. So 2024, you had 3 features.
Yep.
All right. That's right. Because I was like, wait, why do I have you for 4? So first night, qualified 9th, finished 6th in the heat, finished 14th with the DNF. The second night was qualified 4th.
So that night was funny. That night, I ripped off a lap, but it was the 3rd lap of the heat or the qualifying, so it didn't count. But it would have put me 2nd overall in overall time. But CJ was in the same group as me, so when we were pulling off the track on the scoreboard, it had my number on 2nd. His number was in 3rd. I've never seen someone hop out of a race car so fast. You think it was on fire. He came hopping out and said, "All right, that's it. You're loading that thing up and you're walking home. My own car's not out qualifying me."
Man. But that's not put a little salt in the wound, too, when you're like, oh, we 4th? Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, we were 2nd.
Yeah, but that was my, 3rd, 4th time in a car ever?
Yeah.
So I was happy.
Finished 4th in the heat, finished 12th in the DNF. The third night was finished 7th, which I believe we're getting into the Fall Classic territory. Yep. Qualified 7th, finished 2nd in your heat.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I led, more than half of that one.
Okay. Who beat you?
CJ. I was able to hold off Thomas, though, which helps. Tommy Sexton got to stay behind. I got to keep in front of him.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that helps. You held Tommy back, and you let the car owner win.
Yeah.
We'll say that, right? It's good for publicity.
Yeah.
But you DNF'd and finished 12th, and then this would have been the Friday night of the Fall Classic. Qualified 9th, finished 5th in your heat, and you did not finish Or no, you did finish 13th. Yeah, Friday
Yeah.
you finished 13th. But that was your first finish.
Yeah.
Nice. Ending the year on a strong note.
Yeah.
So what happened the last night of the Fall Classic with CJ's Frankenstein-looking car with two different cars?
Yeah, he blew up that car in hot laps. So then he's like, "No, you're just running it." I'm like, "You got a way better chance of winning this money that's on the line, and it's your car to begin with."
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling me no the whole time, but the whole time he's telling me no, the team's already ripping his car apart, putting his seat insert in my seat, putting the wing on, and I'm like, "Oh, no, you don't got a choice."
You have to.
That one we kind of went back and forth because they made him start in the back.
Yeah.
But he never qualified because we didn't have qualifying because we locked in.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're thinking, like, should he been able to just start where he was supposed to start for locking in because he never raced a race with the car. And now he's in a different car. But they started him in the back. I think he ran all the way up to 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
But I think he would have had a chance to win that one if he was able to start where he was supposed to start.
Because I was in Tom Brown's car, and the 28 car went by me, and I'm like, "Whoa, Garrett." Let me try that line. And I looked on the wing, and I saw 13. I'm like, "Oh." Which, that definitely messed up because I was really looking forward to starting on the inside because I still don't feel comfortable ripping the top on a curb top in the wing car. So I was like, okay, we're just going to wholesale the bottom. Whatever happens, happens. And then because CJ started in the back, that pushed me up to the top, and then I was not happy.
Yeah, I was just happy to lock into the top 10 for that weekend, though.
Yeah. CJ went all the way up to 5th.
Yeah.
14th to 5th.
Yeah. He would have had a good chance if he was able to start where he was supposed to start.
Well, if you see, like, let's say he was supposed to start 10th,
that's
first.
I think he was starting 5th.
5th? Yeah, he would have won that thing. You're lucky Tommy Sexton. Motor held him back. Yeah, so, and then, like I said, the 2023 stats and everything. So, you got a healthy, good 6-7 nights under your belt now. 2, 4, 6, 7.
Some bad luck. The second DNF putting the car together so fast, we had an ignition wire pop off. So that was one of the DNFs. The first night, they started spinning in front of me, nowhere to go. That ended that one. Then inexperience got me, and then Thursday at Fall Classic, the last corner, front end let loose, but
nope, no bueno.
Yeah, it's just bad luck, but inexperience got me too.
Yeah, so get all the bad stuff out this year. Maybe come back next year part time and go full time kicking his butt when you're in the car. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
that'll be good. I think because CJ, I personally did not nominate anybody for the benchies, but I did vote, and I forgot which one, but there's one or two that I voted for CJ because I'm like, yeah, he's a really cool guy, cool team and everything. Where do you want? This was a question I forgot to ask. Where do you want racing to take you?
See, I'm not take me anywhere. Okay. I just enjoy racing, and I enjoy Wilmot because that's where I grew up going. Okay. So I just have fun going out there every weekend. No, I don't want to go on traveling tour, nothing like that. Just something to do, something I always enjoyed.
Nice.
So where it's at right now is kind of where I want to be with it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Because we kind of ended with the Fall Classic stuff too. Did you like the 3-day?
Yeah, it was a lot of work, but we had fun doing it. The maintenance at the track was a lot of fun. We didn't leave. The trailer stayed out there.
Okay.
I live 5 minutes away, so we just ran back to my house and showered and stuff. But
nice.
We washed cars out there, did all the maintenance out there, so that was a fun time.
Yeah.
Made us feel like a big name team.
We brought 3 cars. Look at him. That's always cool too. Like when Nathan drove my backup car, I was just like, yeah, there's 2 cars in the space of 1 trailer. That's gonna get tight. But yeah, you guys got some room down there. But and then format for the Fall Classic. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, the locked in. It made it feel like Knoxville Nationals kind of. Mm-hmm. That was fun.
Yeah, because I actually recently heard someone was saying about like the 3-day just kind of doesn't help the guys that don't show up on a day. But if I'm not mistaken, the modified Saturday night winner missed Thursday night. He showed up Friday and Saturday. So I
get why they're doing it. They don't want someone coming just Saturday and taking the money. Mm-hmm. They want you to kind of show up all 3 days of it, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the one thing that I was like is I just felt like 3 Saturdays back to back to back, which is a little annoying.
Yeah,
but like it's for the first time that was really good.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah, and then the rain that came down where it was sprinkling and what did you think about Vanderveer?
That's where
in the open motor 410 wing cars with his 604.
That's where the 604 is fast. When a track is super slick like that, everybody else has almost double the horsepower as that thing, and everybody's busting their tires loose, and he was able to just. Well, Matt's a hell of a driver too, so give him props on that one. They know how to set up a car and stuff like that, but him being able to drive that far is very impressive with what it was.
Was it the guy that started on the front row of Gurley? I think is his last name. Vanderveer punted him going into 3. He's just like Gurley was blocking him a little bit, so Vanderveer finally hit him. And when he got back to him, I'm like, "Don't hit that guy!" Like of all the guys on the track, do not hit him. Like he's been going through some tough times in the last few years. The weekend, he's coming from the tail.
Going back to what we're talking about with CJ having to start in the back.
Yeah.
Well, Matt has to start in the back because he ran that 410 car. But I think if Matt would have started where he was supposed to start with that 604 car, he might have won it.
Oh, yeah.
He would have been top 3 at least because Aaron's and Nemi were pretty fast. But he would have been top 3, I think.
And Blackhurst was running somewhat strong.
Yeah.
Somewhat strong. But yeah, I think his biggest one would have been Nemi.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, if ifs and buts could be candy and nuts.
Yeah, right?
Holy crap, that would have been a feature. I know I lost my voice.
It already was a feature.
Yeah, I know, right? But like, oh man, and it was raining, and I don't even remember it, like drizzling at it. Because then I was like kind of rewatching some of the stuff on YouTube, and I was like, oh yeah, they had a yellow because red? No, it was a yellow, or was it a red?
It was a red Gurley or someone hit the cushion in 1 and 2 and put the car.
Oh yeah, upside down.
I don't know if it went all the way upside down. It did like a weird roll.
It's like a corkscrew, but never touched and landed, and they red flagged it, and they pushed off immediately, which is what they needed to do to keep the track from getting too wet. But then I remember that they was doing a lot of yellows, and I'm like, oh no, they can't call it now. But shout out to Wilmot because they got. One of the cars did a wheelie going down the back chute. It's like, yeah, it ain't greasy. It's hooked up.
CJ ran that whole race with the rear caliper came off the car, sheared right off the rear end. Jeez. So the whole race he was running with no brakes in that thing.
Jeez, that's why he was up top.
Yeah.
You don't need them when you're up there. Only when the guy slides you and throws you a shorty. But yeah, so I forgot about the rain too. So yeah, that's how good of a feature that was. But if you would have started 5th, 6th, something.
Whatever the last of the 8th, I think it was because they take 8 into dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have started 8th.
Man. Yeah, Wilmot would have burned down that night.
Yeah.
What's up, Devin? What's up, Willow? Willow says, "Why you no say hi?" Oh, because I gotta kind of wait for the conversation to end. I can't just stop our awesome guest here mid sentence. Stop! I gotta say hi. So Devin, how's your car coming along? Are you still sore from the Midwest Racers event? Yeah, how come you didn't go to the Midwest Racers event?
See, me and CJ both worked, and it starts at like 5:30, and it runs so late. We would have got up to like 6:30, so we would have been like an hour shy. Maybe next year we have to do it. I wish you started it like a little bit earlier, so you're not coming home at 2 a.m. But
so that was a whole thing in itself. There's a little miscommunication between K1 and the way that it's always ran. So the girls only get 1 qualifying session to put them in the main.
Yeah.
Because then they have a powder puff, where the guys have 2 qualifying sessions, right? So Nathan had the raffle, which is great because there's over $2,000 in cash and raffle prizes. So that was awesome. So that was going to take some time. So then they're like, well, yeah, let's run it right after qualifying where they're trying to place people in the mains. Well, K1 was waiting for the powder puff qualifying session, not the race. So then we finished, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're done with qualifying, so that was a little messy there, but
I think it was a good turnout.
Oh, it was a great turnout. 84 drivers, and that my back is sore. Devin, is your back still sore? Mine's my shoulder blades are a little tender still. What's up, Maddie? Hunter, my boy, let's go. Have you been drinking? He's never done it in all caps. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yelling at you.
Yeah, my boy. Yeah, I think they're gonna be in studio for which you are more than welcome to come with the benchies next week if you want, because your team, Team Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta cut it off at some point. Oh, that's another thing too. Is like our great sponsors, Hold My Beer. They are allowing us to do another live audience show. Again, like we did this summer for next summer.
That'd be cool to do the
benchies. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, man. So like they're a little like it's a small place, so that's why I'm like, ooh, because I know we packed it at like 70 and it was really tight. So I'm like, man, if we do the benchies,
it's a lot of people.
It's a lot. Plus, we have to be inside. So, but we're doing for sure the Hold My Beer live audience show again this coming summer, which is awesome. But yeah, I was thinking about that, like seeing how all the benchies work out this year and being like, is it enough to do a live?
Well, because then you can hand the trophies out that'd be cool.
Yeah, and then see the other people that were like, well, I was nominated. But yeah, that's the hard part. But at the same time, like there are so many people that were not nominated that that aren't able to. So if you're nominated, it's already a pretty good shot. A shout out to your season. Devin Winterstein, just need header bolts and new spark plugs, and then I'm ready to go to the front in the American Sprint Car Tour Series in 2025. Let's go. Yeah, he's still sore, but I'm able to move more now. Drinking water, too, now as well. Yeah, so he had actually a back brace on. He came up from Illinois, a couple-hour drive to Nathan's racing event, and then he's like, yeah, I got scoliosis. And I'm like, oh, dude, I don't know. Dude, like, these guys were rough. Like, we're rough. So, yeah. But I'm glad that he's feeling better. But he was wearing caught my pen. So I didn't drop it this episode. That's good. Yeah, so he was wearing a back brace for the racing event. Hunter Lossman, I've only had 1 1/4. Lightweight.
We go up to K1 every now and then as like a race team, and I don't know how we don't get kicked out of that place because nobody wants the next guy to win. So everybody's, if you hit the brake, the guy behind you's hitting you.
Oh yeah, you should definitely come with Nathan's racing event then.
Yeah.
I know he's got one in March, which I think is not going to be on Super Trek. But the Super Track was fun because
I never ran a Super Track. We always just ran whatever one's like right there when you walk in.
Yeah, track one. Yeah, track one. Yeah, track one's pretty cool. But like when they come together, like the transition between the two tracks, it's a long shoot. So you go from like one long shoot on track one to 3 long shoots, and it gets rough. Time out. I wore off 3 different bumpers.
It's the best part, though. You don't got to pay for anything. You just...
No.
If something breaks, you get up. Where's the next cart?
You go into your carts for your mains, and you not the guy that's right in front of you, but the one that's in front of him, because that's the one who you're going to be behind.
Yeah.
And you're just like, if you hit the brake...
Yeah,
I'm letting you know. Everyone is... So we call that the choo-choo train. You want to be the choo-choo train, not the caboose. Because the caboose, you'll be
pushing the back. You'll shuffle to the back.
You'll be to the back. Hunter, not a lightweight. Just haven't talked to Derek in a week. I know. Let me carry that one. It's so sad. There's a care. Yeah. Since X throwing. Jeez. Yeah, that was a hot minute ago. Cool. Awesome. All right, we're gonna move on to topic 2 here, presented by Pullman Auto. If you need a new car, new to you car, check out Pullman Auto with 3 locations in Kenosha, 1 location in Racine. We're talking 604 winged predictions. So this one was the last episode on season 1, which was 12/11. So literally like 11 months to the day. This was with DW David Wallace. And so now these are predictions that we made for this coming year with the new series. So we're going to talk about that and just kind of see we're pretty far off. Yeah, how close, how far. So we said, or let me ask our guest, Garrett here, gap between first and second in points.
I knew it was going to be close.
Okay.
With CJ and Tommy, I was not expecting how good Greg ran all year.
Yeah.
So he was my, out of the blue...
The dark horse, yeah. Yeah.
But he never won a feature, but he was always so consistent. It's hard to consistency wins the championship. So.
Yep. So how many points would you have said back in December of last year?
The gap?
Yeah, the gap between first and second.
Oh, I would say 50. I wouldn't think it close as what I was going to be.
Yeah. So correct was 21.
Oh, that's
pretty
close.
That's a night. That's a night that you could have a bad night and the other guy win and he wins the championship. I said 11. Brandon said 18. And David Wallace said 5 or under, so he was thinking
really? That close?
Yeah, it was going to be a barn burner, which I think it still was. But the closest one was Dawn Wallace at 22, so she was 1 point off.
I was expecting nobody really had super bad weekends back to back. I mean, Ian had some bad weekends where he just had bad luck where the car got wrecked, but nobody wrecked the car bad.
Yeah.
So everybody was kind of, to spin out occasionally or something like that, but...
Yeah, and Tom Brown and Ryan Christian, there we go, BK, getting together and tearing wings off. But that was it.
Yeah, that was the first or second race of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was early too. So the lowest was David Wallace with 5 or under, and the highest guess was Tater at 85 points. So, yeah. Most wins of the year. Before this year, who would you have said is going to get the most?
Tommy.
He's
been doing it for so long. He's always been decently quick. I thought Tommy was going to get it.
Okay, nice. Brandon and I went with 2 different people, and we both won it. I said Sexton, Brandon said CJ, and they both won the most at 3. So CJ won 3, and Tommy Sexton
won 3. That was CJ's
3.
First full sprint car wins, too, this year. He never won with the Wingless, and...
Yeah,
started off strong.
He was like that one guy in the Wingless where it's if he could get the luck and the speed on the same night, he could if he had the speed to start 4th in the feature and have the luck to miss all the craziness that happens in the first 2 laps, he could get out in front and check out. David Wall said Josh Davidson. And then we had BK from Sivia, and Joseph G also said BK. So, most heat race wins.
CJ.
Oh,
this year or my predictions?
Predictions and who you think, or who you think got it too.
Well, I know CJ probably, or no, I think Ian got the most wins. But I think it was Tommy again, because...
You said the name. Ian Steer got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I knew that just by watching. He won a lot of heat races.
Yep. He won a lot of races, and he stuck turn 3 like nobody's business.
Yeah.
He said that he wants to put a sign there that says Ian was here. I'm like, he should tag it 19 at least.
I think he's got it twice.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And hard, too.
Yeah.
Not easy. Yeah.
That's his wall.
Yeah, that's his wall. Ian was here. None of us in studio and guest and on Facebook didn't guess Ian Steer. I said Ellie. A little surprised she didn't have to pick up a heat race win. I thought that she was super strong.
Right.
Brandon said CJ, which CJ did almost get it. He had 5 heat race wins. David Wallace said BK, and he had, BK, where are you? 3 heat race wins. So we still had a pretty good run there. Most fast times.
Who was it, my guess?
Yeah, who would been your prediction?
I thought BK would have been up there.
BK? Okay.
I know who has the most fast times.
I mean, you're wrenching on it. Yeah. CJ with 3. And again, no one in studio. I said Klumpko, Brandon said BK, David Wallace said Ellie, and Jimmy Sivy said Klumpo. So, man. But finally, we get back on track here with the average car count. This is including the Fall Classic.
12.
12. That would have been your prediction?
Oh, my prediction? Yeah. I would say
12.
10 to 15 would have been my guess back then.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm guessing 12 now with...
12. All right, so I said 19. Brandon said 18. David Wallace said 17. The correct answer is 14.41, so we'll just round down to 14. Closest was Maddie at 15.
We're talking about what our guess is for next year?
Yeah, in a second here, if you want to do that.
All right, yeah. I think that would be...
Yeah. Man, next year. Okay, let me finish this. Yeah. So we had bold predictions, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. Just what you think the craziest thing is going to happen with the winged 604s. I have a question mark here because Jack Eschbach said BK will be a contender. So no points win. He won one of the features at the Fall Classic.
Yep.
But no points A main win, and he was 73 behind first. Can we call that a contender? You be the judge.
I would. It's the same thing with what we just watched with Gravel and Macedo.
Mm-hmm.
He would need a lot of luck on his side to actually get there.
Yeah.
But it is possible. But
yeah.
I would say it's a little. I think anything higher than 50 is kind of like a long Hail Mary shot, kind of.
Yeah, especially with only 8 points race nights or something. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to say that one's no. The other ones are pretty cutthroat, like right to the point. I said BK wins the championship. That didn't happen. No. David Wallace said if Zelski races the Wing 604s, he wins. Didn't race the Wing 604, so that's out of it. Brandon Horswell, which is probably my favorite one out of the bold predictions, with the dark horse here, Greg Alt wins the championship. He surprised me the way that how much speed he had last year versus this year. I don't know how you feel about that as a prediction of winning the championship.
With the wings or with the wingless?
The wing.
So, not to kick him when he's down, but I feel like he went backwards this year.
Yeah, he went backwards. Yeah.
I think he got slower for some reason. I don't know if they're fighting setups or if everybody else is figuring out how to set it up better.
Yeah.
And that team's just struggling on that half, but yeah.
Because last year
he was pretty quick last year.
Yeah, last year he finished he was second or third for majority of the county fair feature, and he got together with someone and it knocked the nose wing off, like it was crooked, and then he only fell back to like 6th or 7th. And I'm like, well, I mean,
yeah, that's a good run because that was a full field.
Yeah,
it was like 20,
18, 20 cars or something. Yeah, that was a really good night. Let's see here. We have Don Wallace. Ellie wins a main. Nope. This one, I have no idea what this means, so I'm not even going to say it. Also, Vanderveer wins the championship.
I think if he ran the full year,
mm-hmm.
he would have been right there. It would have been really it would have made the points battle tighter.
Yep, and I said nope, but he won 2 features, so there is that. And then double duty, we have 2 here because I mean. Spoiler alert for the Double Duty Championship Benchy Awards. Double Duty, how many drivers are going to be doing Double Duty? What would your have guessed been?
This year?
Yeah.
Well, I would have guessed Taters was doing it. I would have guessed Ralphie was doing it. I would have guessed Chris was going to do it. Who else has another car? You with Brown.
Mm-hmm. If I could have.
Like, I'm not talking... Are you talking, like, every week? Like, that they're racing together? Or just every now and then?
Every now and then.
I knew Vanderveer... I thought Vanderveer would do it if the 410s were there
mm-hmm.
and the wingless were there.
Mm-hmm.
So, 4?
4?
Yeah.
All right. So, David Wallace said 5. I said 7, which is technically correct. There have been 7 drivers. Not necessarily wingless and winged. There's...
I was not thinking
Badger
stocks
Badger Midgets. Nathan did Badger Midgets and the wingless. Brandon said 6. And then Don Joseph, Jessica Sivia said 6. Will Lynn said 5, but Jimmy Sivia gets it. He said 4 to 5, and there were 4 wingless double duties, which would have been Chris Klemko, Alan Hafford, Ralph Johnson, and Tim Cox were like the most notable ones to do that.
Oh yeah, I forgot he ran his car and Brown's car.
Yeah. All right, let's. We're gonna do a little pivot. You know, someone just threw us a slide job, so we're not gonna stuff it in the right rear. We're gonna lift and turn it under. Garrett wants to kind of do this year, which I did not have on the schedule, but let's do it. It's gonna be fun.
Well, I'm gonna say how many cars I think the 604 wing cars.
Oh, okay.
Have.
So you want average?
Yeah, I think that class is gonna grow as fast as the wingless did, or faster. I'm thinking that average car count's gonna be 22 next year.
22?
Yeah.
22 average?
I think it's going to be between 20 and 24, which is the perfect amount of cars, in my opinion.
All right, so I'm going to underline 22. Yep, 22 to 24. Yep, okay. Oh, man. All right, so there's a couple different ways that you could look at this. I think what the 604 winged has is a case study on just a series that runs a 604 because they have the wingless. So I think the 604 wing cars can look at how the wingless cars skyrocketed, held, and then dropped.
Yep.
And not dropped, but I should say start tapering
Slowing down.
Like, I do get that there was the split between the 604 winged and the wingless cars, but ever since 2021 or 2020, the car counts have been getting less. So you can't just pull that on the wing car starting. So I think the biggest thing that the 604 wing cars can do is be like, yeah, once you get to, like, let's say 30 cars, start trying to get another track that's around here. Not necessarily Plymouth because they got the 360s, but Angel Park,
I think that's
141, and be like, hey, run our rules. You'll split the field, right? That's going to be the downside, but
it grows the sport.
It grows it because in 2 years, now both tracks are going to be at 30 cars. Because, like, that was the thing. When 51 cars show up, more than half the field
isn't making
the feature. Yeah. So if you're one of those guys, let's say you, who's just getting into it, and every night, it feels like no matter what you do, you're in the B.
Yeah.
You might be moving up the B, but you just can't get that extra speed in qualifying because that's how you set your night up. You're going to get discouraged, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go find something else to do. So I think that's, like, the best thing that the 604 wings have, and I think that they should look at that really carefully and monitor it. But for next year, I think the average, because you said 22 to 24, so I'm going to try to stay out of that 23. But I would like to say 23, but I'm going to say 21 average. I think
that class is growing so fast, too, because a lot of these guys, traveling, if it's just racing Wilmot, it saves a lot of these guys that work a lot or don't want to spend the time traveling or the money traveling, just going to the same track every weekend, especially if you live close. Yeah. It helps out a ton. It takes a lot of expense off of it, and I could leave Wilmot at 10 o'clock and I'll be home by 10:10. Mm-hmm. Versus if you leave Angel Park, I ain't coming home till 11, midnight.
Yeah. And then you have work on Monday.
Yeah.
Because it's a Sunday track.
Yep.
What do you think the peak is going to be? We said average. What do you think that peak's going to be?
Like throughout all the years, not just next year?
No, just next year.
Just next
year?
The
highest car count for one night.
I think fair night, there'll be running a B main. I think there'll be fair night, there'll be 25, 26 cars.
Okay. Ooh.
Which would only drop 2 guys out off the... Because the first race of the year...
You said 26. All right, I said 26. I'm going to bump mine up to 27. Just so we're a little different.
The first fair actual 604 wing cars, that was 23, I think, last year.
Yeah, 23, that's what it was. Because I said 20, I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Just enough that there was no B main. Mm-hmm. I think that would be the perfect amount of cars. If they could keep it, everybody makes a show, full field, that would be a fun class.
Yeah. I met with Tom Brown on Friday. Little secret sauce there. Hint. But he was talking about how fast the 604 guys closed up compared to the wingless guys closed up. Because, now it's been how many years that the Wisconsin wingless has been running, and now you could be like, yeah, for sure, like, the solid top 10 are within a half second of each other.
Yep.
Which that's everyone just crawling on each other. The wing cars haven't had even a full year because it's only been 8 races, and your top 10 are separated by 3-4 tenths.
Yeah, it's whoever rips off that one good lap.
Yeah, without any dirty air. Dirty air is fun though. Like, you actually can think about it a little bit. Like, ooh, if I run a little lower, a little higher, it doesn't affect my car.
That's one thing I wish they talked a little bit more about in the driver meetings at Wilmot is when they say 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody hops on the gas at once because everybody's spaced out, usually a decent amount. But then you get that one guy that doesn't go, and everybody has to let off the throttle.
Yeah. And that's the other thing I've noticed too. Like the wingless, I feel like it's your fastest lap could be lap 1, lap 2, lap 3. Like it could be any one of those. But I've noticed that usually the fastest times on the winged 604s are the last lap.
Yep.
And that's because you got all your momentum wound up. So then if you lift on your first lap, well, you might as well just. It's like Angel Park qualifying. Wingless cars, most of the time, their fastest lap is on lap 2 because your lap 1 is building it up. Well, if you lift on lap 1, you might as well just pull off because you know you're going to be 17th, 18th,
You got to try to pull it back together for the second one. It's almost impossible.
Yeah. Facebook. we're going to move on here, but what do you think the 604 winged average car count for 2025 is going to be? Garrett says 22 to 24. I say 21 is the average. Garrett says peak is going to be 26 cars. I say peak car count is going to be 27. Love to hear from what you guys think. Rhonda Sexton, hi guys, love mom.
Yep.
Let's go, Rhonda. One of the best weddings ever.
Yeah, it was a fun wedding.
I almost felt like a wedding crasher because I'm like, oh, there's a wedding over there. I'm not mad that I wasn't invited, but there's a wedding over there.
You could have just walked up. You would have been fit right in.
Well, the funniest thing was that there was no wing car racing.
Mm-mm.
And Sexton's car rolls out, and I'm like, wait, are there wings running here tonight too? Like,
yeah, that's why they picked that date.
Nice. Hunter, yes, we need a shop night. We're going to try to get one before Thanksgiving to pull the motor the rest of the way out. What up, IE? Perfect segue here. IE, are you going to PRI? Because I sent you a text. George Flanagan, hi, Melissa. Is that your nickname? No? Okay. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so PRI. You going to PRI too?
Yeah, we are going to PRI. Just Saturday.
Just Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. First time you said?
Yeah, first time for me down to PRI.
For you? Has CJ gone?
Yeah, CJ and his brother went a lot when they were younger with their dad.
Nice.
Michael's going with us, so he's been a couple times too.
Okay.
But my first time going down there.
Nice. Just be prepared to be like, what the?
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be my 7th year, I think, going in a row. And like, we didn't go in 2020, but so 6th year going. And every year you're just walking in there, and my dad and I were like, how many billions of dollars in this building right now? Just in like race cars. Forget like all the machines and all that other stuff. So yeah, is there anything that you're super excited about?
For PRI?
For PRI?
I think just going and seeing everything.
Nice.
What everybody says is you could walk around and you won't even get through the whole thing in one day.
No, that's why we go all 3.
Yeah, so I'm just excited just to go down there and check it out.
Nice. Okay. Did you get your passes yet?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Perfect. Because, I mean, it doesn't really help you if you're going Saturday, but, like, they also have, like, workshops and stuff you can go to that are, around lunch times on most of the days.
Yeah.
I think Maddie's going to one. Maddie, are you going to the Women in Motorsports again? Funny story with that. We're walking to try to help Maddie find the suite that they're having the thing in, and this businesswoman comes up and she looks very well put together. So we're like, let's ask her because she must know a thing, right? And I was like, hey, this is Maddie, and she's like, oh, great, it's finally nice. It's so nice to meet you, and blah 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 blah. Here, come with me. We go, right? So we're like, oh, perfect. She's got her Women in Motorsports. We'll go downstairs, right? We'll have breakfast or whatever. We come back. Maddie's like, so the other panel woman is named Maddie, too. Oh. She thought I was that one. I was like, man, you should have rolled with it.
Yeah, right?
It should have been like, well, yep. I work on crane racing. I do tires. Like, that would have been best. There's an app
for
PRI?
No, I have not downloaded it.
I gotta download it. But like, it shows like the whole room and like each convention center, and it feels pretty cool because like it's almost like turn by turn. So you can like put like what you're looking for, and like because I'm gonna get measured for a suit, right? So I'm gonna go to K1 race gear. So I search that, put it in there. It'll show me what booth they're at. And then if there's other stuff along the way, it'll kind of map me through there. But we hit every aisle. So
yeah, we have to download that.
Yeah, definitely if you're only going one day because you got to be like moving with a purpose. So yeah, who else is going to PRI? Because that's going to be a fun time. Well, we're waiting for that. We'll kind of just run through here because like I was hoping to have the benchies the last episode, which was going to be the 18th, but then some other people kind of wanted to come on, and so we were going into December now. So I was hoping to get these out before the benchies, so that's why I'm just kind of rushed through this. And real quickly, no hate to modified drivers, but I didn't do any modified predictions because of how everything was going last year, and all these predictions are with drivers that run in that division. So that's why I'm like, I can't have you make predictions for bandits, right? Like, so like that's why there's no modifieds, but for sure this year coming we will have some modified drivers on so we can talk modified predictions. But yeah, so this is with Tiny Horse and Jennifer Rooney, bandit predictions. Gap between first and second. Actual answer is 17 points. IE guessed 19 and Maddie guessed 16, so they were like pretty much spot on. Yeah. Most wins. We had a lot of people guess this person. I guessed Tiny Horse. Ryan backed himself. Can always appreciate a driver that backs himself.
Confidence.
Yep. Jimmy IE, and I put E, which I'm assuming means Elliot. I don't know my shorthand, a year later. But we all said Tiny Horse, and Tiny Horse won the most features with 4. Most heat race wins. Dark Horse here, Ryan Andrews with 5. I said John Cole. Tiny Horse said Scott Ellis, and Jennifer Rooney said David McKellips, which he was running strong the Hot Wheels car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the open double stacker, dude.
Yeah,
like
that the 247 or the gray car that's underneath, and then the Hot Wheels is up top.
Yeah. Is it 437? 247?
Yeah, something like that.
Something
I know
like
what you're talking about. Though.
Yeah. Like they come in and I'm like, yeah.
That's got to be a big steep incline to get that thing up there. Or does the trailer it drops down?
It drops it down. It's got it's got an elevator on it, dude. Yeah, it's like when the fantasy says stacker, but the budget says open.
Yeah. A little bit of both.
Yeah, you just put them together. An average car count. Jimmy IE actually on the nosy 21, and it was 21.27. I said 24. Tiny Horse said 26, and Jennifer Rooney said 25. Bold predictions. This one's up for discussion too. Jennifer said Evie steals the show. I mean, her car looks mint, so that could be a possible.
That's a blue car that has like the door wraps on it.
Yeah, door wraps. The 21 with the teddy bear.
Yeah.
Yep. Car's really mint. That it almost looks like a pavement streets. Pavement bandit. That's on dirt. Andy says Evie wins a heat race. Unfortunately, she did not. But hey, for her first year, she was holding up with the men pretty well. IEDC wins the heat race. Nope, so close from my bandit debut, but
you didn't even try it out.
I was gonna rip it. Ryan brother two wins a main. I don't know what that means. Maddie, it's my handwriting too. Oh man, see my setup sheets are in code.
Yeah, so no one can read it.
Yeah, no one can read it. Dr. Chicken Scratch. Maddie DC top 5, unfortunately not. And then the last class that we have, this was from episode 6 this year with Dustin Holland. Street stock predictions. Gap between first and second. Closest was Jimmy IE. He said 19. Correct answer was 10.
That was close.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Most wins. I said Brandon Murtis. Dustin Holland. Or Jimmy said Dustin Holland, and then Dustin Holland said Blake Cruiser. Blake Cruiser with 4, so Dustin Dirty D got that one. Most heat race wins. No one picked this one up. I said Dustin Holland. Jimmy said Brandon Murtis. Dustin Holland said Josh G. And the correct answer was Blake Cruiser and Robbie Olson with 5. Average car count. Jimmy got that, 14. Average is 13.6, but if we round up, it's 14. Most fast times. There's only 2 times the street stocks did qualifying. Yep. And Jimmy IE got with Josh G with only 2, and he got both of them. Let's see. Bold predictions. I started it, and they just followed my lead, but hey, we're good. Charlie Landcourt said we're done 10 p.m. on opening night. I don't remember that.
I don't remember. That track was rough.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
I don't think we were.
I don't know if we were.
Because I think that's the night that David Wallace landed on top of me. Like, he hit a hole so much he went up in the air and I slid under him and landed on top of me.
We got a lot of rain at the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden it just turned into a drought.
Yep, and then the drain tile was cracked cracked in turn 1 and all that stuff. Fun stuff. But both predictions, I said the top 5 were going to be separated by 100 points. I was correct because the top 8 were separated by 49 points.
That's half the field.
Yeah, it's half the field. Jimmy said top 5 by 131, and Dustin said top 5 spread by 153, and that the top 9 were 150 points apart. So fun stuff. But if anyone got shafted, it was the street stocks this year with rainouts and that whole debacle with the IRA Founders Night, and they tried to get the street stocks and the bandits in, and then they just lined up just based off of points after 2 nights. So feel bad for the street stocks. And then with the rain, I think they went like 6 weeks without racing at Wilmot.
They didn't race that much to begin with, I don't think, looking at the schedule. So, then they got rained out. It was a big gap that they didn't even run there.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll get more races this year because it's always a crowd favorite. Or I should say my crowd favorite because those guys know how to door bang and not spin out. I mean, they throw, and they throw hands too, so that's the best part about that too. Oh, man. But, man, holy crap. An hour. Boom. Done talking about racing. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to comment for Garrett. But we'll have Garrett start getting us out of here. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank, obviously, CJ for the opportunity this year. I'd like to thank Wade again for starting this all out. BJ, Tyler, they could set up one hell of a race car. No matter what, my third time in it, went out there and set fourth quick in qualifying. Michael and Mike, those guys, without any of them, I mean, it wouldn't even be possible. So those guys, my mom and my family for buying the wrap, make a cool-looking car. And just everyone at Wilmot that just keeps that track alive. Mm-hmm. They put the time and effort into it. With everybody else shutting down, it's kind of what you need.
Yeah. Seriously, Gas City in Indiana shut down because of Walgreens, and Fulfillment Center going in there. That's what rumor is at. And then Beaver Dam is the small track, obviously, is still very up in the air. So, yeah. But did you hear LaSalle's coming back?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yep, so that's awesome.
It's cool to see one coming back from the dead.
Yeah.
Not just one going to the dead.
Exactly. So there's also hope, because I think that whole situation was just like Beaver Dam, where it's for sale, and then they just kind of forgot about it. And then someone's like, oh, hey, what's this? Let me take it up. Yeah, so that's awesome. Another thing we have in common real quickly. You said Dan Wade, he's starting it all off.
Yeah.
That's Dan Wade got me starting it off. So, ladies, keep your fellas away from Dan Wade unless you want your fella to be racing, apparently.
Yeah,
right. Oh, man. All right. And I'd like to thank Kenosha Plumbing, Next Gen Pumps, Pullman Auto, Rev Tech Manufacturing, Rouge Helmets, Ashley Bree Photography, Painters Plus, Bain Nelson Jack's Helmet Design, Pinnacle Media Productions, Daybreak Church, Mirror Image Coatings, Toro Tents, Hold My Beer, Bricks and Minifigs of Kenosha, Outrageous Apparel, Wise Guys Barbershop, David Crane, Kathy Crane, Kylie Crane, Jeremy Crane, K9sForYou.org, and a special thanks to my beautiful wife, Ashley, who lets my racing friends come over and talk racing. My mom and dad, Mark and Gail, Big One fan, Kyle, Nathan, Lauren, Cooper, Ladders, Dave's not here, Elliot, Hunter, Autumn, Joey, Sarah, and just everyone for following. It's always fun, but also stressful too. Anytime I open my phone and I see 50 plus notifications, 99 plus notifications from reels and people commenting. So thank you guys so much. Oh, and Scott Sprout here with the butter emoji. Let's go. I'll be seeing Scott. Can I say what I'm doing tomorrow real quickly? A little plug. Let me know. And Caleb, my youngest brother Caleb, thank you for being the youngest Crane and being so bad fast. He was at the Nathan Midwest Racers event.
Was he?
Yeah, and he was in the C main. So for not racing ever and actually beating guys.
Right. How many mains were there?
G.
Oh yeah, he's halfway there.
Yeah, more than. Yeah, more than. But yeah, Caleb, your secret word is, ladies, keep your fellas away from Dan Wade. There you go.
Yep.
That's a good one. That one sticks. All right, so I got the okay from Scott Sprout. So tomorrow night I will be with the Back Row Believers podcast recording. That's going to be aired around Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be fun. We'll be talking about gratitude. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, good, because I did. So if you're on Spotify, obviously, hopefully you follow the Bench Racing Podcast, and you can listen over there on your way to work or whatever. But then also check out the Back Row Believers. just for a different insight on church culture and just culture in general. And yeah, so awesome. Last question for our guest here, Garrett. You kind of just touched on it, but do you have a racing page or
no?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's just kind of like the fly by the night, just random opportunities, and I'm not going to let it pass up.
Yeah. So if anyone wanted to get a hold of you, best way is just your personal Facebook page.
Personal or through Malik Racing. I always give them a big shout out because those guys, he has a racing page. Just go like that. They keep updates on all the cars that run for them. So
perfect. So so head over to Malik Racing.
Yeah, CJ Malik. I think
CJ Malik. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's so many different racing names out there that I'm like, wait, is it just the last name like ours, or is it the first and last? Is it just something different?
No, I'm looking back at it. I'm not sure. I don't know, one of them.
TikTok famous. Let's go. I heard he does it for all the hot moms, though.
That's CJ.
Yeah, CJ. He's got a TikTok, though. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, TikToks are awesome. They're awesome. It's a good way to kill 4 hours of your day.
Right.
But yeah, so next thing on your list is obviously PRI, Chili Bowl, and then just what happens next year, just kind of
whatever get everything ready for next year, and whatever happens next year happens.
Boom. Awesome.
No set plans yet.
Yep. Awesome, guys. Well, check us out. No, I don't know where I was going with that thought. That was something. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching and following, and we will see you guys at PRI if you're going to PRI. Amongst the hundreds of thousands of people that are there, so I'll be surprised if you see us. But hey, if you see us, give us a shout out. Yep, say hi. So yeah, see you guys next week for the special Benchy Awards with Michael Olson, Brandon Horswell, and myself, Derek Crane. Peace out, Girl Scout.